together with the sports bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. It's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Sports Bet Show.
Oh boy, we can't hear you. Nope.
Test.
There we go. Yay.
Stupid headphones, I think, disconnected because when I hit go live and then I hit the intro video, it started playing out on my computer. I'm like, nope. And I knew something was up. So appreciate you being on right away. That was helpful.
There you go.
But yeah, today we got a big slate to go over, which I probably will only, unfortunately, be able to go over the hockey games because there's a decent hockey card today. And then we have a pretty decent baseball card, and then we have a pretty decent NBA card. I probably should just stayed home, skip class, and did this whole show from the house. But it is what it is. But before we get into today's games, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. 1 went right, 1 went wrong in the world of sports betting. Followed up a 5-point-something unit day with a -4 unit day. It started off well. Yankees -1 was as easy as it gets. Pirates moneyline winner. Milwaukee made it interesting. The over 10 with the Mets game, 8-7. By the way, how about the Mets last night? That was a lot of fun to see there. I also had a small piece of Mets and over 10. I boosted that to 5-1. So that was a nice little winner there. And then after that, they were like, all right, that's all the winners you get. Minnesota Twins in the over 8.5 finishes 4-2 Dodgers. Purdue +7, Purdue +240 gets blown out. So I'm glad I did bet on the opposite side to get out of that big bet, which I'm glad I did. Over 8.5 in LA, Tampa finishes 7-1. So I got hooked there. And then to end the night, Vegas was up 2-0 in the first period, pushed the first period. They were up 3-2 at one point as well, and then we lose the game 4-3. So I pushed the first period, lost the full game with Vegas. I ended up doubling up on Vegas yesterday. Frustrating because I felt like those should have gone my way. But it happens. Not everything goes your way, and you get through it, and you move on to the next day. I've moved on 1 play so far in the NHL, and that is it. That is all I've got for today so far. We will be going over all the games here. But yeah, I did the 1 free pick video last night, and that was it. So I'm only on 1 thing at the moment. So there we go. But we will head over to the chat, Tim, and then we will get into it here. Let me track the bet I made last night.
I mean, real quick, the site went 3-3, slightly up because of juice, up 0.21 units. Yankees run line fading the Marlins has never been easier. Pittsburgh money line. You know how I mentioned that I bet the run line personally? They win 7-4. That was a nice +170 cash. Milwaukee teased us a little bit, down 8-0, got it to 8-7 at one point. Oh, sorry. Right, 8-7? No.
Yeah. No, it was 9-8.
They got to 9-8 at one point, a 1-run game. So close. Obviously, Mets came through. I personally had the Mets and the over. I kind of kept the Mets one to myself just because I wanted to have a little bit of action on the game besides the over. And then the rest of the night was the over in the Twins game and the Vegas Golden Knights. 2 losers, so 3-3, up 0.21 units. It is what it is, and we move on to today. I'll always take a day in the green over a day in the red, so that works for us.
Yep, any day in the black's a good day. So
yep. What up, my guys? Let's get us guys. Hit the like button, people. Such an appreciation, subscribe and share. Tim, you know the rest. Full NBA slate. Okay, can we be honest? NBA is going to be very, very difficult to bet for the last, 3 games that we got left? How many games
Is
do we
it
have
only
left?
3 games left in the regular season?
Something like that. When did playoffs start? Yeah. Do we have? So there's today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nothing on Saturday, and then Sunday. And then play-ins, I believe, start on Tuesday. I'll be honest, I might not have any plays for the next week because this is the point of the year that no one gives a shit. And it's going to be very difficult to want to go after anything. Obviously, I have the over in the Indiana game that I bet yesterday because I thought the game was for yesterday. But I really – it's going to be a really crappy end of the year in terms of wanting to bet games because I'm not going to want to bet a lot of games. Even though you guys are not messing with the NBA or still talking about it, still hyped over it, and we'll be making some bets here. Value. I mean, I'll still have like 1, maybe 2 bets a game, a slate, but I'm waiting till playoffs.
See, Tim, one thing I'm kind of thinking, though, is like let's just say it's 2 teams that are eliminated. Like we have like the Trailblazers and the Pistons or something like that. What the overs be looks, because I know in the NHL, that's something I'm going to pay attention to the last week and a half, 2 weeks of the season here, is when we have 2 eliminated teams, like we get a matchup like, I don't know, the Sharks and the Blackhawks. Look for an over type of thing, because I know hockey's probably a little bit different because when you think about it, if you are on the Sharks, you know your season's over. You got your tee times booked for 3 weeks from now. Are you really going to be blocking shots?
No.
Are you really going to be playing defense?
No. But I don't think it's the same in the NBA.
Not the same.
I don't think it's the same just because, if anything, they may try to work at a slower pace. Or they might try to play like pickup basketball type of deal, which is always fun to cap. I feel like for the next week, I know you're going to end up capping hockey. I don't know if I really want to cap the NBA the next week. I think I just want to focus on baseball, to be honest. Just because of there's pretty much every team that's in the playoffs for the West, we already know. It's just a matter of seeding. That's the only thing that we're caring about in that. And then we know, actually, we already have all 20 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. We already have all the eliminated teams. We know who's in, who's not. It's a matter of who's playing in the play-ins compared to who's playing in the top 6 compared to 7 through 10. It's all just seeding at this point. I don't know if anybody really cares enough in the NBA for the next little while, but we'll see how it goes. Bucks tonight and Road Warriors tonight against the Fakers. I'm the bum. You're just betting your teams. That's fine. Biggest game of the Red Wings in Cap season. Loser and season ends.
That is a very important game, and honestly, I don't think I want to get involved with it, but we'll get into it. It's definitely a big game.
Nucks money line, Leafs money line parlay.
Yeah, I had the Vegas go to the Knights, so that sucked.
F the Knights. Did you see how the refs treated Sidney Crosby last night? To be fair, some of them were cheap shots, but come on, it's obviously the league. Obviously, the league likes
this. Surprises you? It's been like this for years, and it's Sidney.
Are the Flyers still alive?
No. Technically, yes. We'll get into it, though, today. They have – I want to take a look real quick at what their number is. Because if they win in regulation, it'll go up to 37.3%. If they lose this game in regulation, 8.3% chance of making the playoffs. So they desperately need this game. Definitely need it.
The Flyers are now at 83 points, 78 games played. They're 2 points behind the Islanders for the Metro 3. And the Islanders have a game in hand, and they're 1 point back of Detroit with Detroit having a game in hand.
Yeah, their collapse here as of late is really, really, really costly at the wrong time. Yeah. And it's beautiful to watch.
Do you like the New York Rangers tonight?
I think that line's about right. We'll get into it.
Morning, guys. Let's keep cashing in. It was good yesterday. Let's do it. Also hit Guardians, Yankees, and Blue Jays. Nice. Let's head to this one to start the day, Nick.
Yeah, this is a fun matchup to start the day. The Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Boston Bruins. These two teams did just play not too long ago. Line opened up at a 113. It's up to a 113 now, or 106. It's up to a 113 now. Line opened up at a 5.5 minus 108 to 5.5 at minus 102. So we've had to move towards the under. We've had to move towards the Hurricanes in this one here. 17% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on these Carolina Hurricanes. 2,776 tickets in, and looking at this spot for me, we have these two teams, as I just mentioned, played not too long ago. And this is a game I actually kind of had interest in that I just haven't pulled the trigger yet because these two teams played 5 days ago in Carolina, and the Bruins won 4-1. Carolina has won 4 of their last 5 games. The only game they lost was a game against this Bruins team. I think they show up in this spot here. Taking a look at my projections for this one here, do I see any value in the Hurricanes? Because if I see any like a smidge of value, I like this spot for them a lot, and I want to take Carolina in this game. Let's take a look at. I clicked off the wrong one. There we go. Let's take a look. I have this game projected as a 5.5. And I have this game projected for Carolina to be around 115, 120 favorites in this game. I'm going to take a shot with Carolina in this spot. And I will shop around for the best number for Carolina. I will be on the Hurricanes in this game.
All right, let's see what these guys are up to these days. Carolina's 5 points back for the Rangers in terms of the number 1 spot in the Metro and the President's Trophy at that point. I feel like the Rangers at this point have the President's Trophy locked up.
Good.
So Canes have nothing really to play for. Boston, 5 points up on Florida for first place in the Atlantic. So they got pretty much that locked up. I don't really think there's anything for them to play for. As you mentioned as you mentioned earlier, could it be a spot where they don't neither of these teams care, so the over could be a play? Like, are they really trying to jump in front of pucks when they know the playoffs are coming up and just trying to stay healthy getting into the playoffs?
That's not a bad angle. See, for me, I focus more with that with teams that are bounced.
I would pay attention to that more with teams that are already clinched and are pretty much locked into a spot that don't want to get hurt before the playoffs. I know it's these two teams, a meaningless game. Because I feel like the rest of the season for Carolina and for Boston are meaningless. These are
meaningless. It's getting into form. But yeah, they're going to be in the 2 seed, and Boston probably is a little bit more to play for. But I mean, if you're Boston, congratulations, you win the division. You get to play the Lightning, which I think the Lightning win that series. So I mean, we'll see.
Honestly, I don't really think there's anything for these teams to play for. So I don't hate your Carolina look just because maybe a revenge angle that Boston just came into your house and beat you guys. But I feel like most of these games are meaningless.
Yeah, I moved on Carolina at minus 111 on FanDuel.
Canes money line spot. I could see a Canes money line spot here. I could definitely see the Canes money line spot. Nate Chess assist, Teravainen assist. Sure. Aho assist, Gensel 2 points. Aho 2 points, Jarvis 2 points. You're expecting a bunch of goals here. I don't hate that. Hit a big one yesterday. There you go. Let's go to this one, Nick.
Yeah, this one has no appeal to me whatsoever. So we won't spend too much time on this one here. The Tampa Bay Lightning minus 340 favorites with a total of 6.5 in this game. Projected goaltenders will probably be Jet Greaves for Columbus because they went with Malcolm Subban last game because Merzlikins and Tarasov are both injured. This line opened up at a 340. It's down to a 331. Total opened up at a 6.5 at minus 127. It's now 6.5 at minus 125. Taking a look at this game here, 80% of the tickets are on the Lightning. If this has any appeal to anybody, please let me know how, because I have really no interest in backing Columbus at this point, especially with Jet Greaves. And Greaves does not look bad per se, but is not somebody I'm going to trust against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who I believe the Lightning are coming in off of a loss, if I remember right.
I don't remember.
Maybe double check. Yeah, they're coming off that 5-4 loss. They've had 3 days off after losing to the Penguins, which snapped their 2-game winning streak. They've won 5 of their last 7 games. They've received points in 8 of their last 10. This is a Lightning team I prefer not getting in front of at the moment, which they're going to be extremely scary come playoff time. With that being said, minus 340, good luck, but I'm not betting this game.
Yeah, you got a team that's already eliminated in Columbus. You've got a Tampa Bay team that 99.9% chance that they're going to be in that wild card 1 spot. I don't really see them going up because they're 6 points behind Toronto, and I don't see them drop. Sorry, it's impossible for them to drop because they are so far ahead of that wild card 2 spot.
Yes.
So for me, it's another meaningless game that I want nothing to do with.
Yep. Next game ain't meaningless, though, that we'll talk about.
Correct. Kucherov, 2 points, minus 110. He's scoring race. He's going to be he's going to be going hard. Why not? Bolts minus 2.5. There's no way I'm laying that type of number on a meaningless game. This one, not as meaningless as you just mentioned.
Yeah, let's take a look here. The New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. This line opened up around 125. It actually opened up on BetOnline at 115, but within a minute, it went up to 125. So just an adjustment on the line and went up 10 cents. So since then, it's gone up to 128. So it's been a 3-cent line movement towards the blue shirts here. And the line opened up at a 6 at minus 101. It's down to a 5.5 at minus 115, which I kind of agree with. This line moving down towards the under. I thought this line, should have been more like a 5.5. 75% of the tickets are on the over now. 2,100 tickets in. I wonder how much of that's on the 5.5 number rather than the 4 number or the 6 number, my bad. And then 72% of the tickets and 72% of the cash is on the Rangers. Explain the line move towards the Rangers here in this spot. The Islanders coming in, playing the best hockey they have, I feel like, almost all year. They've won 4 in a row, granted, against Philly, Chicago, Columbus. That Nashville win was very impressive. 42 saves shutout, 40 or 39 saves shutout, something like that for Varlamov. Varlamov is back in net tonight. If I'm the Islanders, I'm riding Varlamov into game 1 of the playoffs if they make it. He's been the much better goaltender for the Islanders. And the Rangers are coming in playing some really good hockey as well. They've won 3 in a row in 8 of 9. Their only loss was that 5-2 loss against the Penguins. But previous to that, their last 3 games, they beat Montreal, Detroit, and New Jersey. So kind of similar competition that the Islanders have had. I think this line's about right in this game. When we take a look at this one, I projected the Islanders. Where is Rangers? Yeah, there we go. I projected this game for the Rangers to be about minus 115 favorites. So plus 115 the other side. I think this is a fair price for the Islanders. And I have this game projected at 5.48 goals. So as I mentioned, I agree with the line going from 6 to a 5.5 because that's where my number is for this game here. Maybe a draw. I could see this game going to overtime. But for me, it's a pass. I'll watch this game for sure.
I feel like this is a lot bigger of a game for the Islanders than the Rangers.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is.
And yes, this is one of the biggest rivalries in the NHL. So it's always big when 2 New York teams that are playoff perennials every year. The only New York teams that you really can say that with. And I look at this one. The Rangers up 5 points on the Canes, as we just mentioned, for the Metro. They are also only 3 points up on Boston for the President's Trophy. So there is still a chance that Boston gets the President's Trophy. We'll keep that possibility out there. The Islanders on the opposite side are just fighting for their playoff lives. They're at 85 points, and they've got Pittsburgh, Washington, and Philly 84, 83, 83, all on their tails to jump into that Metro 3 spot, which right now, whoever gets that Metro 3 spot has to go play in Carolina. So definitely not an easy series there.
No.
I don't think I'm going to be getting too much NHL or NBA for the next week until playoffs start. So for me, I'm not going to be betting anything. I just like to go over where these teams are in terms of playoff race.
Fair.
Mail-in spot for the Rangers. Beat them up. Islanders, please do us a favor. Keep in mind, the Rangers and Islanders have played twice this year. The Rangers have won both those games.
Yes.
Can only lean over. I could definitely lean over in that game. If you like the Rangers, it's an over. If you like the Islanders, I feel like it's more of an under. Speaking of games that, I guess the Panthers still have interest
in the division. They've really fallen offensively, and I'm okay with it. I mean, we knew they weren't going to continue playing at that pace the entire year. This line opened up at a 205. It's now up to a 230. Line opened up at a 6 at plus 104. It's now down to a 6 at minus 120. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Panthers in this game here. Taking a look at the cash flow, 78% of the tickets are on the Panthers, 80% of the tickets are on the under. No cash flow on anything there. My projection for this game is for obviously the Panthers to be favorites, but more along the lines of minus 180, minus 190 favorites, not minus 250 favorites here in this game. And what I'm kind of interested in this spot is I'm not interested in backing the Ottawa Senators for a full 60 minutes in this game. I'm just not. However, these two teams just played on the 4th, and this was the get-right spot of all get-right spots for the Florida Panthers because they came into that game losing back-to-back games against Toronto and Montreal, and then they went into Ottawa and whooped up on them 6-0. Ottawa, on the other hand, they are a confusing team. They lose to Minnesota, Florida. They get blown out by Florida, and they lose to New Jersey. Then they beat the Washington Capitals in overtime. And they previous to that, they had won 5 in a row before losing those 3 games against Minnesota, Florida, and New Jersey, where they beat Winnipeg, Chicago, Buffalo, Edmonton, and New Jersey. So this has been a weird, erratic team, these Ottawa Senators. And I would like to back Ottawa in this game in the first period. In the first period only, because I can see them having a lead at the end of the first and then losing this game. And I can get a plus 162 on Caesars Sportsbook. I'm going to grab that here in the spot. Ottawa, first period, plus 162. If it'll want to verify my location, that'd be cool.
All right, let's go back to the playoff picture where these teams are sitting. The Florida Panthers are they're 5 points back of Boston, but I feel like the more keen race is they're only 3 points up on Toronto for the 2 seed, which I think will make a big difference whether or not they get which with seeding and stuff. I know they would much rather have home ice advantage against Toronto. So that I feel like there is something to play for there. Obviously, Ottawa is already eliminated. It's kind of a Florida needs to win this game. Well, they don't need to, but if they win this game, I believe they pretty much clinched the 2 seed at worst. So this is definitely a spot that they at home against a bad Ottawa team, they should be winning this game. So
also, situationally, this is not a great spot for Florida because they're coming back off of a 4-game road trip. Granted, it was Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Boston, but they are coming back from a 4-game road trip as well. I think I'm just asking for the first 20 minutes from Ottawa. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah. No, I got you. Let's go back to the chat. Sup, what's up, Real Deal? And he likes the Panthers puck line.
I can easily see the Panthers puck. And I think this would be a great game. What we do, Ottawa leads at the end of the first period. We catch the first period, turn around. I bet the Panthers, they win the full game.
Not a bad option. Let's keep on rolling to this game.
This one's an important one. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Montreal Canadiens. Who would have thought I would have said this is an important game on April the 9th? But it's turning less and less important as each passing game goes by for the Philadelphia Flyers right now, who have lost 7 in a row. This line opened up at a -140. It's down to a 133. And the line opened up at a 6 at -108, still a 6 at -108. So we've had no line movement on the total, and we've had a move towards the Montreal Canadiens with 97% of the tickets are on the Flyers, yet the line's moving towards Montreal. So kind of an interesting line movement there. Nothing else, no other information for this game. I have this game projected with Samuel Montembeault and Samuel Ersson, so battle of the Sams. And I do have the Flyers as favorites in this game. -110 favorites in this game. I'm very interested in Montreal in this game. Montreal is a team that they give some teams problems. I mean, and when you look at what Philadelphia has done as of late, this is a team that's lost 7 games in a row, which is beautiful to watch. I absolutely love watching this because watching this team collapse down the stretch, I think this team has run out of gas. I mean, and it's not like they're losing to good teams. They lose to Columbus. They lose to Buffalo. They lose to Chicago. They lose to this Montreal team. So this is a team that during the stretch, they've lost to bad teams as well. Montreal has lost 3 in a row. Their last win was a 5-3 win over Florida. They did play Tampa Bay, Toronto, and the Rangers. So I think this will be a step down in competition here. I'm interested in fading the Flyers here in this spot, and I think I'm going to get involved with the Montreal Canadiens in this game. I would just like to take a look at what my best number is available.
Yeah, we'll look at playoff picture stuff. Obviously, Philly's not completely out of it, although they need to win and they need some help. This is definitely not a good spot for them after they've lost 7 straight. Obviously, Montreal has already been eliminated. So this game only means anything to Philadelphia. Now, should they be favorited on the road like this? I don't know. This one's okay. I'm not betting any hockey, or I'll probably know it. I have my one NBA play bet that I bet, so I don't know how much NBA we're gonna end up going over, but I'll talk over some playoff spots. But that's pretty much all we're gonna be doing for the next little while with the NBA and NHL game, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
it's to that point of the year.
Yeah, +120 Montreal Canadiens money line.
Torts comes to Buffalo. Would you take? Just a reminder, Torts was on the coaching staff back in the 90s, Rochester.
Absolutely not.
Americans.
No. You do not want Tortorella. No.
Okay.
Unless you want the drought to continue.
The drought was going to continue either way. Slafkowski assist.
Slafkowski, yeah.
And Suzuki, 2 points. Okay. Yo, what up, bros? You like the Bruins today?
I'm on Carolina.
Good luck either way. Let's head to this one, Nick, which has a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, we have the New Jersey Devils and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs on a second half of back-to-back. They won in overtime last night against Pittsburgh. And they opened up at a 116. It's down to a 113. So we have a slight move towards the Devils here in this spot. Line opened up at a 125. It's down to a 120. So we've had to move towards the under here, and we've had to move towards the Devils. We have no cash flow, no ticket numbers, or anything in this game. Thanks for being completely useless, Action Network. Take a look at my projections for this one here, where I did not complete them because I did not put in yesterday's numbers for yesterday's game for Toronto. So I do not have a full cap on this game yet. I have to punch in the numbers from last night's game with Toronto, which I forgot to do. It happens. But at this moment, I've got nothing in the game. I will punch in the when Tim gives his little breakdown or whatever, I will punch in the numbers and go from there.
I believe at this point, Toronto is, they're still trying to chase down Florida, which is not crazy. If Florida lost, Toronto wins tonight, all of a sudden they're only 1 point back for the number 2 seed. which if you're Toronto, I don't want to say it's a necessity, but it's a kind of a necessity. On the opposite side, you get the New Jersey Devils, which I believe with a loss tonight is probably toast. I believe they're done if they lose tonight, or it's very, very slim.
They've been done for a while.
They have 4 games left. The most points they can get is 87. So mathematically, no teams can get eliminated tonight besides Minnesota. Other than that, there's technically no teams that can get mathematically eliminated. Buffalo, New Jersey with a loss and a win by a wild card team will be 1 point away from being officially knocked out mathematically. Obviously, I think Toronto on a second leg of back-to-back is going to be a tough spot, but good luck. It should be an interesting game.
Yeah, I've got nothing in this one. I think this line is correct.
Hey, guys. What's up, Dan? Austin Matthews, 2 goals at plus 300.
That's crazy that 2 goals for him is only plus 300.
Yeesh. This one might have the biggest playoff implications of the day.
Yeah, this is definitely a game I'll have an eye on. Whether or not I'm betting it or not, it's another story. We have the Washington Capitals and the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings minus 140 favorites, total of 6 in this game here. Let's take a look at the ticket or the line history in this one here. As we have, let's take a look. Line opened up at a 148. It's down to a 141. So we've had a move towards Washington in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 114. It's a 6 at minus 110. I think I might have the wrong goalie projected in this game because I have Darcy. I think it'll be Lindgren. 94% of the tickets are on the Red Wings and the line moving towards the Capitals. I'm actually interested in Washington in this spot. Let me switch it from Lindgren or from Darcy to Lindgren. I see this game being Lindgren, and yeah, when I'm punching those numbers, I'm shocked that Detroit's a minus 140 favorite in this game. I'll take a shot with Washington in this spot. Washington coming in off of a 3-2 overtime loss against the Ottawa Senators in their last game, so that could be a little bit of a wake up call there. That hey. If they don't, I mean, if they lose again, this is a team on a 5-game losing streak right now. This Washington Capitals team, they've completely fallen apart as of late, and the regression's sitting in. But with that being said, this line's too wide. Pretty plain and simple for me. I'll take a shot with the Washington Capitals at plus 125 in this game.
6-game losing streak for the Capitals, and this game has huge playoff implications. And I know, I mean, if I were you, Nick, I would be personally rooting for Detroit.
No, they're currently in a wild card spot. Washington's not.
But Washington can chase down your Metro 3 spot. Detroit cannot. And at this point, Nick, I would much rather get that Metro 3 spot and play the Hurricanes than the wild card 2 and play the Rangers.
I'd rather play the Rangers.
So you would rather have the wild card?
Yes.
Well, Detroit.
I think stylistically, the Rangers are a better matchup.
All right. For the wild card 2 spot, Detroit's currently in that spot, 84 points with a game in hand. Sorry, not against Washington. They're equal with that. A win in regulation for Washington would put them back into a playoff spot. A loss in regulation would probably take them almost all but out of it. It is because they're going up against a team that they are trying to chase. And yes, although the Capitals would still have a shot for the Metro 3, the Red Wings are never catching anybody in the Atlantic. So This is a much bigger game for the Red Wings than it is for the Capitals, although it is it's a huge game for both teams. I'm just saying in terms of playoff spots and stuff, the Capitals will still have a chance if they lose this game going after the Metro 3. But
yeah, regardless, if you look at regulation, if Washington loses in regulation in this game, all of a sudden Their odds dropped to 9.7% to make the playoffs. If they win in regulation, it's 43%. If the Red Wings win in regulation, it's 66.9%. If they lose in regulation, 27.1%. So this is definitely a big game. Honestly, for me, anything but overtime. Anything but overtime in this game, and I'm happy. So,
All right, so bet the draw.
absolutely bet the draw. This game is 100% going to overtime.
Although these teams don't want to be going overtime against each other. Red Wings money line put the Caps down. They're a dead dog walking. That Canucks backup goalie isn't that bad.
Yes, Ovechkin. Yeah.
Larkin goal, Ovi goal.
I would look towards Ovechkin. Yeah,
And
like
Rain
Michael as well.
assists, Larkin 2 points. He's going crazy with some of these props. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
All right, here's a game that I will 100% not be watching tonight.
This is the game I did the free pick video on last night, Tim.
Oh,
We have the Buffalo Sabres and the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars open up at minus 205 on BetOnline. It's up to a 220 now. Line opened up at a 125. It's up to a 120 or down to a 120. So we've actually had a move towards the under, a little concerning, and then a move towards the Dallas Stars. 83% of the tickets are on the Stars. No other information other than that, though. Now this could be a tricky spot for the Dallas Stars, which is why I took the approach that I took rather than taking the -1, because the -1 was -140 in this game. I took the Stars team total over 3.5 in this spot. When you look at what the Stars have been doing offensively as of late, last game they won 7-4 against Colorado. Now, this could be a tricky spot because I believe this is the third game in 4 nights for the Dallas Stars, but offensively, I couldn't ignore the numbers that they've been putting up. On average, the last 10 games, 4.501 expected goals for. The Sabres are giving up 4.036. So I expect the same to at least give me 4 goals from the Dallas Stars. I could see this game being 3-3 at one point as well. I like the over in this game. I have this game projected as one of the higher totals of the night, 6.76 goals. So I thought this game was going to be a 6.5, which we're starting to see some 6.5s pop up. But if this is still a 6, it is a 6 on a few books. And on BetMGM, I'm getting a 6 at -120. I'm going to grab that 6, and I'm going to grab the 6 at a -120 in this game as well. I've got the full game over, or I got the team total over last night, 3.5 -125 for the Dallas Stars, and I'm going to add the full game over as well. I see this as a game where the Buffalo Sabres, they've been, for all intents and purposes, eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this could be one of those where they just roll out the puck and play some pond hockey. I could see a 5-3 type of Stars win in this game. I do see the Sabres contributing offensively in this game a little bit, so I'm going to grab the over 6 as well. I got the team total over 3.5 at -125.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, if the Sabres lose in regulation with the Detroit Red Wings and the Capitals playing today, they're essentially done. They're done already. I'm not saying that there's a chance. I believe Money Puck gives them a 0.1%. I don't care anymore. It's baseball season. Who cares? Stars on the other side have pretty much locked down the Central Division. They're 5 points up on Colorado. Identical games, so pretty much a win. Dallas Stars need to win or a Colorado loss in regulation, and the Dallas Stars will be your Central Division champions, and your reward for that will be playing the Vegas Golden Knights in the first round. So definitely not a friendly sight for the Stars, but this one, in all intents and purposes, is only big for the Stars. Sabres are already looking towards next year, where they should fire Don Granato and move on. So we'll go from there. At this point, if you're the Sabres, what's keeping you from just having Levi start the rest of the season?
That's a good point. Is he on the roster right now?
I think he's on the roster. What's stopping you from starting Levi every game?
You still want to see Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and develop, right? Or you've seen enough of him, you want to see Levi? Because if I'm the Buffalo Sabres, I go into next year with Luukkonen and Levi as my tandem.
That's what I'm thinking. But okay, Levi's in Rochester for the playoffs. That's right.
Yes, he's with the
NHL
Americans.
playoffs. But I mean, if I was the Sabres, I would have brought him up, have him play the last couple of games just to get back up in the league. But I don't know. There's really no point to the season anymore. That I would want to try to
Love
get
the
as
optimism.
many. I would want to try to get as many of the young guys up as possible just to see what we got. But we'll see. Nothing for the Sabres in this game. Dallas pretty much clinches the division with a win and a regulation loss from Colorado. Let's go Buffalo. Take the value tonight. Sabres money line, not going to happen. Sabres money line, the Sabres are fast. Who cares? My favorite play today, Tuck and Thompson. Okay, that's fair. Under in the Stars Sabres.
I'm on the opposite side.
Bet I'm taking the Sabres then. Let's ride. Not going to happen. The Sabres will easily steal one of you. Don't come out ready. Yeah, they could steal one, but I'm not. I drank 0.1% beer. I could still taste the alcohol. So real deal. Levi's in Rochester. It's fine where it's at. Hintz 2 points. Pavelski 2 points. This is a really good one. And a yo from Mr. Joe Kryptonite. Let's keep on running through these games, Nick, because there's still a lot to get done today.
Yep, there's still a bunch, and I'm only going to be around for another 18 minutes or so. We have the Winnipeg Jets and the Nashville Predators. The Preds, I'll pick them. It's a pick 'em. Total 5.5 in this game. Kind of an interesting matchup here. Let's take a look at the line history that opened up at Nashville -120. It's now Nashville -107. So a move towards the Jets in this game. Line opened up a 5.5 -115. It's actually up to a 5.5 -120 now. So we've had a move towards the over. It's kind of interesting there. We have 75% of the tickets are on the Preds. The line moving towards the Jets. No cash flow or anything along those lines. So interesting line movement there. Let's take a look at my projections for this game where I have, if I could type, there we go. I have the Jets as slight favorites in this game where I have them actually around -120. I'm actually kind of interested in Winnipeg in this game. And I actually have this game projected at 6.22 goals. So I actually kind of agree with this line moving towards the over. And I think I want to move on Jets in the over in this game, in this spot. Saros has been much better as of late. But this is also kind of a tricky spot for Nashville. This is their third game in 4 days. They went to shootout against the Devils in their last game. Maybe a Winnipeg team total over could be an interesting look. It would probably be a 3. I want to see what that is over on BetMGM because BetMGM gives me the flat numbers for team totals. I want to see what team total over 3 is for this game. And I kind of like this game over 5.5, which 5.5 -120. I also at BetMGM. I think I'm going to move on Winnipeg team total over full game over in this game.
Let's look to see what they're doing. Winnipeg is 2 points behind Colorado for the 2 seed in the Central Division, which could definitely play an impact there. They're up 6 points on the Nashville Predators for the wild card spot. For all intents and purposes, Nashville is in a wild card spot. They're not clinched yet, but I believe with a win here or even a regulation draw, they will be in the playoffs. Because the only teams chasing the wild card still are the Blues and the Wild. And obviously, and Nashville still ahead of Vegas. And I look at this one. Should be another one of those high impact games, but come towards the end of the stretch of the year, and you'll hear this a lot with the NBA as well. I'm not really interested in betting it right now. We're having a lot more success in the MLB, so that's where I'm going to be putting most of my focus in games that actually matter right now. And a lot of these games, yes, there are some games in the NHL that matter. Like 3 out of the 12 that we're talking about matter. But it's coming to that point of the year where a lot of games just don't.
Yeah. I got the Winnipeg Jets team total at 3 flat. 3 flat on BetMGM, -105, and the full game over 5.5 at -120 also on BetMGM.
Okay. Morning, gentlemen. Morning. With a wonderful night in the hardwood, UConn no sweat cashed a few futures. I had UConn -7 last night. It gave off the exact same vibes as South Carolina did. So
It was March lameness, nothing but chalk.
it kind of was a boring tournament. It's one of the worst tournaments in a
I was
while.
thinking the same thing because the Final Fours were blowouts. The championship was a blowout. It was chalk. I mean, other than NC State, really no favorites did anything.
I don't even count NC State as a Cinderella team.
They were the only double-digit seed to
ACC.
make the Sweet 16.
Huh?
They were the only double-digit seed to make the Sweet 16.
Yeah. So kind of a lame tournament, a lot of chalk, which didn't work out for us. Cole Perfetti assists, Scheifele 2 points. Also did a few alternate spreads thanks to Tim, -10.5, -9.5 for small plus money. I figured that UConn was going to blow them out. I had my bigger bet on UConn last night, so that was nice. Depends what Jets team shows up. The Angels' money line was also never in doubt. Who did the Angels play last night?
Rays.
Oh, yeah. I could see over 5.5. Road Gallon is meh, and of course, Braves are overrated. I will not say the Braves are overrated. The Mets offense finally showed up last night. Nashville in the draw for me. There you go. We got 4 more hockey games, Nick.
Yeah, we got the Minnesota Wild taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche -200 favorites, total 6.5 in this game. Kind of an interesting pricing for this one here for me in this game, and I think my projections are a little skewed from the last game of where Colorado played Dallas. But let's take a look here at this line history. It opened up at a 200. It's down to a 193. So we've had a move towards Minnesota. Line opened up at a 6.5 at -101, and it stayed there. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. We have none. So no cash flow in this game whatsoever. I really don't have too much of an interest in this game. And I know my numbers are projecting value on the Wild, but I know that it's only because of the last game for the Avalanche where it's going to really skew them here when they got outplayed pretty badly against Dallas. They gave up 9.72 expected goals and only produced 4.17. That's a negative 5.55 expected goal differential following a negative 3.68. So 2 games that they've not played very good back to back. I don't expect them to continue playing like this. However, am I looking to back the Wild here? No. It's a stay off spot for me. Maybe a draw. I could see this game going to overtime, but I have no interest in the spot.
Wild are the only team on today's card that could get mathematically eliminated today. And that comes with a loss of any kind. Or Vegas doesn't play tonight, do they?
No, they played last night.
So it would come with a loss here. And against a Colorado team that are still fighting technically for the they're still fighting for the Central Division. Sorry. They're 5 points back. They need to go perfect, and they need a big slip up by the Stars. And with the Stars playing the Sabres tonight, I don't see that happening. The only thing that I would be worried about for Colorado is that the fact that that Winnipeg is only 2 points behind with a game in hand. So that's going to be for them. This is a must-win game for Colorado to hold on to that number 2 seed. So it should be a game where Colorado takes advantage. We all know about the home field advantage for Colorado teams. So it would be a look towards Colorado. Obviously, can't lay -200, but yeah. Wild +1.5. No. I mean, there was some random big dogs wins in the tournament, mostly NC State, but that's not Purdue's type of upset. No. Avs and the over. I can see that. I'm probably going to fade Vegas Golden Knights in the playoffs. Choking multiple leads in games down the stretch is not a good look. Granted, they are still beat up. They still have plenty of injuries. So
Don't worry, they'll have half their team return off of long-term IR.
and then they're going to make another cup run. So let's head to this one, Nick, which has 0 playoff implications.
Yeah, Seattle Kraken and Arizona Coyotes. Kraken minus 140, total 6 in this game. One thing we can kind of rely on the Kraken this year to do is beat up on bad teams, and they've done that against Anaheim plenty. They did that against San Jose as of late, and now they get Arizona, a team that is coming in off of back-to-back wins against Vegas and San Jose. Taking a look at the line history in this one here, we have Seattle opening up as minus 130 favorites. It's up to a 141. Line opened up at a 6 at plus 104. It is now a 6 at minus 101. So a move towards the over and a move towards Seattle. I 100% agree with the move towards Seattle. We have no tickets or anything in this game to go off of. I agree with this line move towards Seattle, and I think this 6 number is correct. I have this game projected for Seattle to be around the $2 range. And I would like to back the Kraken here in this spot. I've been backing the Kraken a little bit as of late against bad teams. I'm going to continue to do that here. Kraken minus 1 will probably be, I'm going to shop around for the best number for Kraken minus 1, but I'm going to be on Seattle in this game.
I'll make it simple. Both teams are eliminated.
Yes, they are.
Move on to the next game.
Yeah.
That's that.
Where we have the LA Kings and the Anaheim Ducks. The Kings minus 290 favorites, total 5.5 in this game. The only team this game matters to is the Kings a little bit. They're in their spot, but they could sneak up or Vegas can sneak up and take their Division 3 spot. Line opened up at a 245. It's up to a 275. It's up. Line opened up at a minus 115. It's now a minus 116 for the over. So move towards the over. A move towards the Kings. 83% of the tickets are on the Kings. Cool. That's all the information I got for the market. I have really no interest in this game here. This game should be around a 5.5. Should the Kings be minus 300 road favorites? No. Am I going to be betting the Kings, though? No. So it's a pass for me.
The Ducks are only fighting for the lottery pick, which I believe would go to the San Jose Sharks. Well, obviously it's the lottery thing, but San Jose, 44 points, 51 for Chicago, and then 55 for Anaheim. Wow, the Western Conference is garbage. But no, this is a meaningless game for the Ducks. And for the Kings, they are at 93 points with a game with same amount of games as Vegas. They're currently 1 point up on Vegas for their Pacific 3 spot. I'm pretty sure they clinch a playoff spot. Would it be with a win? I believe with a win, they clinch a playoff spot. So that's pretty much done for them. They win tonight. I think even a overtime loss would clinch them a playoff spot. So Kings pretty much in. Ducks all the way out. No real interest.
Fair enough.
Love the Desert Dogs here. Desert Dogs not here, though. Under for me, Kraken puck line lead.
Yes, I'm going to be on the Kraken minus 1, which is plus 114 on FanDuel.
Quentin Byfield hat trick, 79-1.
Good luck.
Maybe over. Draw here, too. Could be. Kings puck line. Fiala, 2 points. Dubois, 2 points. And it's just Dostal starting for the Ducks.
Yeah, Lucas Dostal.
Got one more hockey game, Nick, which means absolutely nothing. Both teams are eliminated.
Yeah, we have the San Jose Sharks and the Calgary Flames. The Flames minus 230 road favorites in this game, total of 6 in this spot. Both teams have kind of given up here. And we kind of saw that coming. I thought this line should be more like a 5.5, so I do lean under the total in this game. But damn it, why are the Flames landing this type of number?
Don't do it. Do not do it.
Like, no, I'm being dead serious. And we've seen this with the Calgary Flames before, where when they play these games and they're big favorites, now the line opened up at a 200, it's up to a 215. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 108, still is 6 at minus 108. So we've really had no line movement here in the spot other than a small line movement towards the Flames. We have no cash flow or tickets or anything like that on the Flames game here. But
No.
It's pretty plain and simple. I mean, when you look at what the Flames have been doing as of late, by the way, these two teams just played on February 15th in Calgary. San Jose got the win as plus 269 dogs. So Calgary's lost 3 in a row and 8 of their last 9. Granted, San Jose's been playing better as of late. 2 of the last 5 games they've won, but 2 of the last 8 games they've won. So, I'm going to take a shot with the Sharks here in this game. This line's just too wide. And on ESPN bet, they're giving me a plus 190. I'm going to grab that. Maybe I'm a sucker for it, but hey, you give me this type of number to fade the Flames, I'm going to take a shot with it. So I'm going to take the Sharks here on ESPN bet at plus 190.
Sharks money line. Flames is big faves always shit the bed. The psychopath bet against the Flames. Let's head to a sport that the games actually matter today.
Yeah, let's get into it here. This game starts at 12:35. I'll go over this game, and then I've got to bounce because I have class at 11.
Send me your card.
Okay, I'll be capping. But yeah, I wanted to look over markets and stuff like that too, so I don't have much bet. Casey Mize and Martin Perez line opened up at a minus 125. It is down to a minus 114 now, so we do have a move towards Detroit in this game. Kind of an interesting line movement there. Line opened up at an 8.5 minus 110. It's an 8.5 minus 108. So we have a move towards the under. We've had a move towards the Tigers, expecting Casey Mize to pitch well. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game, sharp money coming in on Pittsburgh, but the line not moving accordingly. 30% of the tickets and 64% of cash on Pittsburgh, and the line moving towards Detroit, 17,170 tickets in. 40% of the tickets, 61% of the cash is on the over in this game. The line moving towards the under. So kind of interesting there. In this spot, I'm kind of thinking under in this game between Martin Perez and Casey Mize. Once again, just because it's the first game of the day does not mean it has to be bet, even though having 12:35 action does sound like a lot of fun today. But there is a 2 o'clock game we can bet as well, which I think might have a little bit more value there with Brian Bayo and the Red Sox, but maybe. But Pittsburgh, it's not a team I'm particularly wanting to jump in front of right now. 9-2 so far this season. Detroit coming in 6-4 on the year. They started off 5-1. They really struggled in their last series against the powerhouse of the Oakland A's. Casey Mize has pitched 1 time so far. He gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 4 innings pitched against the Mets. On the flip side, Martin Perez has pitched twice this year. Gave up 1 earned run on 6 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 4 1/3 against the Marlins, and he gave up 2 earned runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 6 2/3 against the Nationals. So he's looked good in both those starts. I kind of look towards maybe an under in this game, which I'm kind of tempted to see what a first 5 under is. I might get around to betting that just to have, I don't know, a little something to sweat during the afternoon. I see some value on this under as well. So probably first 5 under for me in this game with a lean towards the Tigers in this one as well.
I was kind of leaning Pittsburgh. They've been a team that I've been making money on. Casey Mize looked good his first time out. Granted, it was against the Mets. He did let up 3 runs, but it was the game the 11th inning game. Martin Perez, 2 starts, looks solid so far this year. 11 innings pitched, only 3 earned runs. So, and this has been a Pittsburgh Pirates team that has been making us money. And I don't know about you, Nick. I am not on the Detroit Tigers wagon yet. I know a lot of people are, and a lot of people like them. I'm not big on this Detroit Tigers bandwagon just yet. So for me, I kind of like the what do you call it today?
Pirates
today. So that would be my look is the Pittsburgh Pirates in this game.
Fair. But that is all for me. I got to peace out.
All right, Nick. I'll talk to you next time. We'll go back to the chat, and then we'll continue there. Pirates money line. They need to win this game. Brewers are going to catch them eventually. Dude, we are 9 games into the season. Nobody needs to win any game right now. Pirates -1.5. I wouldn't talk you off of it. All right. I'm currently getting my statistics down for this one. And it is the Baltimore Orioles. And it is the Boston Red Sox. Thank you. I'm currently getting up because this one's pretty much a set play every single day. And that is betting the Baltimore Orioles every single day. And seeing how it goes. And it has not gone well in that Pittsburgh series. They cost me some money there. It is what it is. I'm not super hung up on all that. Why can't I freaking get that? Where discard? Why doesn't it copy everything? That's so annoying. Copy. This is a Baltimore Orioles team that I've been backing every single day, so I'm going to continue to do so. Orioles money line, Orioles run line. The money line is -130. Run line is +125. Continuing with the Baltimore Orioles trend every single day. It is slightly down right now. It is down 0.7 units on the money line, broke even on the run line. But actually, that's not. Did I not do this the right way? No, they're 5-4. This is their 10th game. Yep, that makes sense. We're good there. So this is a Baltimore Orioles spot for me once again. I'll post out the thing later on. Nerfy and of course Orioles money line. Red Sox in the over. I'm not on the Red Sox. By the way, this is the Boston Red Sox home opener this year. This is their first game at home. 7-3. Current second place Red Sox at the moment. Let's keep going, and yikes. The Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland -220, total of 9. This is a gross game. Logan Allen versus Michael Soroka. The White Sox are 1-9. Their only win coming against the Atlanta Braves, which is kind of funny. Cleveland is 8-2, so they've looked good to start the year. Granted, they've played Oakland for 4 games. They did take 2 out of 3 from St. Louis, which is Seattle, which was impressive. And they did take both games from Minnesota, but I'm not super high on Minnesota. And then they won yesterday versus the White Sox. It's got to be Cleveland run line or nothing for me in this game. I'm not backing the White Sox by any stretch of the imagination. Just not a team that I've already learned my lesson on them. They're not a team I want to be backing at all. This is a team that's going to be competing with the Colorado Rockies for the worst team in baseball, in my opinion, coming down the stretch. And this is just it would be Cleveland run line or nothing. And because it is a AL Central versus AL Central, it is a nothing spot for me. Blue Jays nerfy, Astros nerfy, Phillies nerfy. I'm not really a big nerfy person, but good luck to you. We'll head to this one, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are around -150, although I see the line dropping. I see some 140s now. Frankie Montas versus Joe Ross. Joe Ross has pitched 1 game this year, 3 2/3 innings, 11 outs, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs, 5 walks, 2 hits versus Minnesota. They end up losing that game. Frankie Montas has pitched twice for the Cincinnati Reds. 1 earned run, 3 walks, 9 hits in those 2 starts, with 9 strikeouts in 11 2/3 innings, and 2 wins against Washington and Philadelphia. I like this one. It's with the line movement the way it is. I feel like it's Milwaukee or nothing. I'm not sold on the Cincinnati bandwagon. Just not something I'm going to be jumping into and just riding. And I probably won't for most of the year, which either will save me a lot of money or will cost me a lot of money. Either way, I'm all right with either one. Milwaukee, it would be a lean towards Milwaukee or nothing in this game, but it's going to be nothing for me. Guardians and the Yankee run line. Yes to the Yankee run line. Red. You just like one red player. All right. I feel like this is another one of those spots that everybody knows where we're going after. It's the New York Yankees taking on the Miami Marlins. The Yankees 9-2 this year. Miami 1-10. And we kind of called it in the beginning of the year that the Marlins were going to be bad. Now I was expecting them to be bad, not this bad, but 1-10 start. And we've faded them every single game. So it stops now? No. Yankee run line again in this one. We will be fading the Marlins for a while. This team is not good. Let's see. The run line in this one is sitting at plus 107 for the New York Yankees. That will be a play that I will be on today. Fading the Miami Marlins. I like the Philly Nerfy and also adding the Marlins Nerfy too. Reds are still a little better than the Brewers. My one concern for the Reds will be their pitching this year. Their offense is definitely there. Steer is definitely going to be a problem. Astros game and Philly game have great pitchers. They do. We'll head over to this game, which I feel like I can make pretty simple, but we'll talk over it real quick. It's a pick'em between the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays with a total of 8. George Kirby versus Chris Bassett. You've got the Mariners, who are 4-7 this year, 5-6 for the Toronto Blue Jays. George Kirby coming off of getting pounded in his last game. 6 earned runs, 9 hits, and 3 2/3 innings. Coming off of a very, very nice start. 8 strikeouts and a 1-0 win versus the Boston Red Sox. So kind of a weird back and forth for him here. Taking on Chris Bassett, the former Met, who's played Tampa and Houston, has allowed 4 earned runs in both games on 15 hits combined, 5 walks in 9 1/3 innings, 9 strikeouts. And the Toronto Blue Jays have lost those games to combine 16-2. So definitely an ugly start for Bassett to start his season. The Toronto Blue Jays are on the no bet list. I bet them the day after they got no hit because that's kind of a system play. I will be betting the Orioles against them. Other than that, this is a Toronto Blue Jays team that I'm not touching this year unless there's a real reason for me to do so. There's no real reason for me to do so here. So this one is a stay away. Nerfy and the Yankee money line is a same game parlay. I'm running it back again. I'd be worried about AJ Puck, but good luck. I can't do Nerfy in the game because of AJ Puck. Say there you go. All right, my Mets are taking on the Atlanta Braves. Braves are minus 195 with a total of 9.5. Mets coming off of a very, very nice 8-7 win last night. Back and forth, crazy game. And now we get Adrian Hauser taking on Ronaldo Lopez. I believe Hauser was okay in his first start. Yeah, Hauser was good in his first start. 1 earned run, 3 walks, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts in 5 innings. That was the game that they lost 6-3 to the Tigers in extra innings. Ronaldo Lopez pitched in the only game that the Braves have lost this year. He was the pitcher in the 3-2 loss to the Chicago White Sox. 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts in 6 innings. So he was solid. He was solid in that game. So that's not a problem. Although I look at this game, I kind of lean towards the over. In this one, 9.5. This Braves offense is going to come again. This is a Braves team and a Braves offense that can hit. And against Adrian Hauser, which they've had success against back in his Milwaukee days, I could easily see them coming back and hitting again today. Hey, if Nimmo starts to hit for the Mets, we just need to get Lindor going. And once Lindor, McNeil's starting to get on now. The offense is starting to look a lot better, although Alonso 0-4 so far this road trip. I think the Mets will be able to put up some runs as well, especially against a Ronaldo Lopez, which is an up-and-coming guy. Not really super high on him. So I would look towards the over in this Mets-Braves game again. These two teams always play crazy back-and-forth games, so I would be looking towards the over in the Mets game. We'll keep on rolling. The Houston Astros and the Kansas City Royals will be going today. Christian Javier taking on our boy, Cole Reagans. Houston minus 130 with a total of 8.5. And I faded Cole Reagan in his last game, which I think ended up working out. Obviously, because I had Baltimore that game. Yeah, they lost that game 4-3 against Baltimore. That was the walk-off win for the Orioles. And I only faded him because it was the Orioles. So I did not fade him because it was him. I faded it because it was betting the Orioles every day. I'm on Cole Reagan today, plus the 110 for that one. And I'm kind of looking towards the under in this game. I can see this one being a pitcher's duel. If you're going to be betting Kansas City games, they're going to struggle offensively, but they're going to be solid on pitching-wise. Their bullpen, I think, is going to be good enough to get them through games. And Cole Reagan's, even though he's lost the first 2 starts that he's gone, he's going to be a very solid pitcher this year for the Kansas City Royals. My bet on this game will be on the Kansas City Royals on the money line at plus 110. And it is a look towards the under as well, saying that Cole Reagan has himself a solid game. Fair Tim Marlins Nerfy is not my best one today. I ranked my Nerfies today as Baltimore, Philly, Miami. There you go. Reagan's first 5. Sure. If you take out the Marlins Nerfy and throw in the Astros Nerfy with Cole Reagan's and Christian Javier is the better option. I'm pretty sure he's on that one already. So there you go. I don't personally bet Nerfy. So we go on to this one where the Dodgers are minus 195 in Minnesota to take on the Twins. 8.5 is your total in this game. You've got Tyler Glasnow taking on Louis Varland. The Dodgers are coming off of a 4-2 win yesterday, winning, covering the run line versus the Minnesota Twins. I'm happy I stayed off of Minnesota. Wish I stayed off the over. It is what it is. Minnesota, Varland is pitched once this year. 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 hits, 4 innings, 4 strikeouts versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Glasnow, I believe, has pitched 3 times already. Yeah, he got to play in the Seoul game. The Dodgers are 3-0 in his starts. He's combined for 6 earned runs on 7 walks with 8 hits, 15 strikeouts in 17 innings so far this year. And the Dodgers are 3-0 when he pitches. For me, I know it might seem chalky. I still lean towards the Dodger run line. I'm not super high on this Minnesota team. I think they're going to have a big drop-off year. And so far, they kind of have 3-5 to start off the year. Right now, you're seeing at the top of the division of Cleveland, Kansas City, and Detroit, which is a little bit surprising. Minnesota down there in 4th, but very, very early in the year. It's a lean towards the Dodger run line. Am I betting it? No, I don't feel like I need to. Let's keep on rolling. Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals will be going after it. Zach Wheeler taking on Sonny Gray. Phillies around minus 130, minus 135 area with a total of 7.5. Wheeler is kind of off to a rough start this year. The Phillies are off to a rough start when Wheeler pitches because they're 0-2. He's been fantastic. 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 hits in 12 innings with 15 strikeouts. Wheeler's been absolutely solid to start off the year. On the opposite side, you get Sonny Gray, which I am not. This is actually his first start of the year. He's coming off, I'm guessing, the injured list to start the year. So this will be his first start of the year, which is very intriguing. For me, it's a look towards the Phillies. I would have to personally run line it because I'm not laying minus 130 on the road. Minus 130 is kind of my cap in terms of anybody. So it is kind of tricky to want to try to go and bet something like that. It would be Philly run line or nothing. But I think this is just another game that I just need to stay away from. Which will bring us to another game. The Oakland Athletics are taking on the Texas Rangers. The Rangers are minus 200 with a total of 9 in this game. You got Alex Wood taking on Nathan Eovaldi. Alex Wood so far this year has pitched in 2 games. He's allowed 9 earned runs, 3 walks, 13 hits, and 8 1/3 innings, 10 strikeouts. They lost both games, 1 in extra innings to the Boston Red Sox, 1 to the Cleveland Guardians, who are now in first place. On the opposite side, you get Nathan Eovaldi, who has pitched in 2 games this year, has 13 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 hits, and the Texas Rangers have won both of his starts. I think this is a weird spot for Texas, coming off of a series versus Houston, which they split. That series was split, and last night was ugly for them in a 10-5 loss to the Houston Astros. This is just, it would be Oakland or nothing, but I'm not betting Oakland here. I think it could be if Texas won yesterday versus Houston, maybe I look more towards Oakland, saying that Texas is in a bad spot. But this Texas team is solid. You could probably get a decent price for their run line, but I'm not touching a run line here. Maybe you look towards an over, but that would require Oakland to hit a little bit. Can I see this game being 7-4? Sure. But this one's going to be a little bit tricky for an over, especially with how well Nathan Eovaldi has pitched this year. I can only lean towards stuff involving Texas, but not enough for me to want to get involved. I see they cleared pitchers last night. I saw Thompson for Cardinals, which isn't something I like, but Gray is different. I see Gray according to covers. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep on rolling. Colorado Rockies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are minus 185 with a total of 11.5. Cal Quantrill taking on Merrill Kelly. The defending National League Championship started off the year 4-7. Granted, they have had a really annoying start to the year. They got to take 2 out of 3 from Colorado, which was nice. Then they lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees and got swept by the Braves. So they've had and then they lost last night 7-5 in the game that Gallen pitched to the Colorado Rockies. Ugly start to the year for them. Granted, very tough strength of schedule. Merrill Kelly, I really like Merrill Kelly. 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 hits in his 2 starts so far, going 13 2/3 innings in 12 strikeouts. On the opposite side, you got Cal Quantrill, who may be one of the worst pitchers in baseball. He's allowed 9 earned runs, 5 walks, 13 hits in 9 innings, 4 strikeouts to start off his year. For me, it's a lean towards the over. I kind of want to go towards the over in this game just because I feel like Arizona will hit against Cal Quantrill, and in the mile high, balls fly. I could see Colorado getting some runs. Colorado has gotten runs against this Diamondbacks team, especially at home. So I would look towards the over in this game, over 11.5 between the D-backs and the Colorado Rockies. Arizona run line. I'm not going to talk you off of Arizona run line. I still think Arizona is going to be a good team. So I'm not going to talk you off of that. Now, this one should be interesting. We get the Tampa Bay Rays. They're in LA taking on the Angels. Rays are minus 125. 8.5 is the total in this game. And I like this one. These are 2 teams that I'm not super high on. Patrick Sandoval and Aaron Savali. Savali has pitched in, I believe, 2 games this year. Yep, 2 games. 12 innings, 14 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 hits so far for him. Patrick Sandoval is a guy that I do like, although he has not been crazy good this year. 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 10 hits. He only went an inning and 2/3 against the Baltimore Orioles, but Baltimore really beat him up in that game. That was an 11-3 to win for Baltimore, and then they won 10-2 versus Miami. I look at this game. It's under or nothing for me. Both these 2 teams struggle to hit minus Mike Trout, who has been hitting really solid to start the year. It is also a lean towards the Angels. I'm not super high on this Rays team. I think the Rays and the Blue Jays finished at the bottom of the division. So for me, this one is a look towards the under. It's a look towards the Angels money line for me. But I'm probably going to end up no, I'm probably going to be on the under in this game. I'm going to be on the under. I feel like the Rays always start slow, but somehow wind up in the playoffs. I don't think that's happening this year. They're definitely not the same team. Washington Nationals and the San Francisco Giants. Giants minus 188 your total here. Josiah Gray taking on Kyle Harrison. Gray, not a good start to the year. 13 earned runs on 5 walks, 15 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 8 1/3 innings so far. losing both games to Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. So definitely not a good start for him to start the year. On the opposite side, you got Kyle Harrison, which I believe is he's gone 5 and 6 innings. So 11 innings so far this year, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 12 hits, 9 strikeouts. A win against San Diego, a loss against the Dodgers. For me in this one, we just saw the Washington Nationals go across the country, and they spoiled Blake Snell's first game by winning 8-1. This Nationals team is scrappy. On the opposite side, San Francisco, obviously they've had a treacherous schedule to start the year. San Diego for 4. In San Diego for 4, in LA for 3, and then back home versus San Diego, and then they lost last night to Washington. They're now 4-7 to start the year. For me, I feel like this is an under game. I just don't see these two teams producing offensively. Both these two teams have are going to struggle offensively this year. Their strengths are going to lie in the pitching. So that's where I would probably have to lean is towards the under in this game. Is it strong enough for me to want to go after it? Probably not. But it would be a lean towards the under. ESP, my guy. What's up, Nathan? Welcome. And trying the Nerfy again here, pitcher-friendly ballpark. I could see the Nerfy here. Final game of the day is the Chicago Cubs and the San Diego Padres. The Padres are minus 160 here with a total of 8. Joe Musgrove taking on Ben Brown. Ben Brown has pitched in 2 games this year. He is a relief pitcher. So this is a bullpen game for the Chicago Cubs because he's gone a total of 5 2/3 innings so far this year. He had an ugly game against Texas where he allowed up 6 runs. Better game in his second start. On the opposite side, you got Joe Musgrove, who has been getting hit to start the year. Although good start against St. Louis, but who doesn't have good starts against St. Louis? Previous to that, he allowed 9 earned runs in his first 2 starts against the Dodgers and the Giants. For me, I like the Cubbies in this game. Cubbies coming off of blowing an 8-0 lead. I think this is a bounce back spot for a Cubs team that I do think is going to be good this year. So for me in this one, it is Cubs money line against the San Diego Padres. Cubs first 5, Joe. Yeah, 100%. Cubs first 5. Let's head to the NBA, where it's probably going to be pretty similar to how we talked about the NBA NHL card. It's talking over playoff stuff and what's going on in terms of that. Because I'm not going to be betting much NBA, but I figured if you guys are going to be betting it, keep you guys up to date on what each team is kind of playing for at this point. We'll start off with the Dallas Mavericks and the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte is already eliminated. Dallas is in that 5 seed. Dallas is currently 2 games behind the Clippers and 2 games ahead of the Suns/Pelicans in that 5 spot. So they're most likely they're not moving up. Most likely they're not moving down unless there's a big collapse on one side or a really nice run for Dallas. So I'm not really too interested in this one. We did talk about a couple of these games yesterday before we realized that these games were for today and not for yesterday. So some of these lines actually might be outdated because I don't know if Nick updated them, but I have no real interest in going after this game to start off the slate. Yes, Cubbies. Let's keep going through them. The Philadelphia 76ers are 15-point favorites against Detroit. 219.5 to total in this one. Philly is currently in the 7th seed. They're a game back for Indiana. Still can catch them. Trying to hold off the Miami Heat for that to hold on to the 7th seed and home court advantage in the playing game, the 7-8 playing game. No, I'm never laying 15 points. And I don't really bet totals although I do have a total in the next game. I don't really bet totals all that often. I'm not really too interested in going after that. Detroit eliminated. We've already talked about Philly. Nothing really going in this one. We're going to kind of speed through these NBA games because there's not a lot going on in them. Pacers and the Toronto Raptors. Pacers 8-point favorites with a total of 240. And Indiana, as I just mentioned, are a game ahead of Philadelphia. They are a game behind Cleveland. They are a game and a half behind the Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks. So obviously, this is a bigger game for Indiana, considering that Toronto's already been eliminated. We already have all of our playoff teams in both the East and the West. We know who's going to be playing in the playoffs, or we know who the 10 teams that are going to be playing postseason basketball. Pacers have a chance to try to catch some teams. Cool. Am I laying 8 points on the road? No. So kind of a stay off spot there. This one's actually gotten a little bit more inflated. I saw some 2.5s out there. Celtics and the Bucks. Celtics 1 point favorites or 2.5 point favorites. I saw 228 total. Bucks clinched the number 1 seed in the NBA. No real reason or incentive for them to play. They're not going for any records. They have won 5 straight games so far. Milwaukee Bucks have lost 4 in a row. They're 16 games over 500. I feel like I'm going to end up betting this game, though. I mentioned them yesterday. I'm going to be on the Bucks. I'm actually going to go ahead and bet that game. I wanted to yesterday. Nick almost talked me off of it. I'm not going to let him talk me off of it. This is just a weird line. The Boston Celtics have nothing to play for. I'm going to grab the Bucks money line at plus 115, and just roll with that. Celtics have nothing to play for. There we go. Milwaukee Bucks plus 115. I got my solar powers from the solar eclipse yesterday, so my new name is the Black Superman. Whatever you want it to be. Your Bucks win tonight. Let's keep on rolling. We get the Atlanta Hawks and the Miami Heat. Heat 2.5 point favorites with a total of 221.5. Heat trying to catch the 76ers for that 7 seed. They're a half game behind them. They're in a game and a half behind Indiana to try to get that 6 seed. Miami's not super deep. I don't really see them making a run in the playoffs, but they are still in there. And they're not dropping. They're not dropping to the 9 seed. The 9 seed, 10 seed is the Bulls and the Hawks. Which one is which? We don't know yet. Because I figured I'd throw that one in because the Hawks are the other team. Hawks are currently the 10 seed. So they would have to go to Chicago to play that playing game. Is there anything I want to get involved in here? No. These are 2 teams that are just still playing for something. So I'm not trying to jump in front of it. Maybe I'll lean towards the Heat. Maybe I'll lean towards the under. But NBA is kind of just rough. No, don't lose Bucks backing Bucks. Why? The Celtics have won 6 straight and the Bucks have lost 4 straight. It's a pick 'em. There's no way the Celtics lose. The Celtics have nothing to play for, so I don't know. Let's keep rolling. The Knicks are 2 point favorites on the road in Chicago. 213 is the total there. Obviously, we just talked about Chicago. They're a game ahead of Atlanta. A win here and an Atlanta loss would really set up the Bulls nicely to host that play-in spot at 4 games under 500 right now. That's disgusting, considering that the Warriors are 8 games over 500, and they're in the 10 seed. The Warriors are the same record as the Miami Heat, just to give you an idea. So, and that's the 10 seed versus the 8 seed. That's to show the difference in how much better the Western Conference is than the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference is very top heavy. On the opposite side, you get the New York Knicks, who are a game back of Milwaukee. They're tied with Orlando. They're a half game ahead of Cleveland, a game and a half ahead of Indiana, 2.5 games ahead of Philly, 3 games ahead of Miami, all for the playoff race. So there's still some heavy playoff race stuff going on between seedings for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the East. Anybody can end up anywhere besides I don't see my Milwaukee dropping down. But lots of stuff still going on in the race there in the Eastern Conference. Nothing I really want to get involved in, but should be a good race down the stretch. For me in this one, it's Bulls or nothing. Bucks F'd you yesterday versus Knicks. They were tied up at the half, and there you go. Well, that sucks. And then Heat or nothing. I could see Heat or nothing in that game too. It's the Orlando Magic against the Houston Rockets. The Orlando Magic 1.5 point road favorites with a total of 211.5. As we talked about earlier, currently Orlando in the 3 seed. Still has a chance to get the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, which is absolutely crazy. I did not expect Orlando to be this good this year, although I do think I had their over win total. So Magic looking really nice going into the playoffs. On the opposite side, we got Houston, who was officially eliminated after losing their 5th straight game. For me in this one, the line just seems a little short. It would be leaning towards the Rockets or nothing for me. If you're going to trust the Rockets, do it at home. Although the Orlando Magic have a lot more to play for, it does not mean that they're going to win. Must win doesn't mean going to win. Keep that in mind when you're betting. For me in this one, it's a lean towards Houston or nothing in this game. Let's keep on rolling. Kings and Thunder. Thunder -2, 228.5. Thunder, game behind the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves for the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Sacramento Kings, currently sitting in that 8th seed. They're a game behind New Orleans. They're only a half game ahead of the Lakers to hold on to that 7-8 matchup. They're only a game behind Phoenix as well to try to move up to a playoff spot in general. Thunder, it's just whether or not SGA is healthy, and this line tells me he's probably not. I mean, it could be a lean towards the Thunder. I still have 80-1 on the Thunder to win the championship. So them getting a 2 seed and being able to play New Orleans or Sacramento in the first round, I would like that matchup for them. But I just can't get to anything in this game. NBA, about time. Bucks, Road Warriors. I'm on your Bucks today. I will not be touching your Warriors. We're not going to go over this game. Spurs and Grizzlies eliminated. No, thank you. Both teams eliminated. Pass. We're just going to keep shuffling through. Now, Washington and Minnesota. Minnesota currently tied for that 1 seed with Denver and a game ahead of Oklahoma City. Wizards completely out of it. Another game we're going to power through. Pass. I'm never laying 16.5 points. I'm not touching the Wizards. Same deal here. Nuggets tied for the 1 seed with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're 13.5 point favorites against a Jazz team who's eliminated and has lost 12 straight games. Pass. Not interested in this game. That's how we're gonna rock through these games. This is a big playoff matchup game or play-in matchup because neither of these teams are making the neither of these teams are going to be top 6. They're both going to be playing teams. The Lakers are 2-point home favorites with a total of 232.5. This is if the Warriors lose this game, they're the 10 seed. Most likely, they're not coming back from losing this game. So keep that in mind, Warrior fans. Lakers, with a win here, could be tied or even in head of the Sacramento Kings and get themselves into the 7-8 matchup, which for them, I feel like at the end of the year, they're going to want to be in that 7-8 matchup and win that 7-8 matchup so they don't have to play Denver in the first round. For me in this game, obviously I'm not betting it. I have no reason to look at a lot of these games. So good matchup, high impact for your playoff positioning. I'm just not going crazy with the NBA right now. Let's keep rolling. Suns are 3.5 point favorites against the Clippers. 225 is your total. Clippers currently in the 4 seed, and I believe with a win here, they clinch a playoff spot. On the opposite side, you get the Suns, who are currently tied with the Pelicans for the 6 seed. They got the tiebreaker due to head-on-head record. It's a must-win game for Phoenix if they want to stay in the playoff picture, not the play-in picture. But just not, once again, I'm not going to go. The Suns have looked better as of late. I will give them that. They've won 7 out of their last 10. They are coming off a loss. Is this a game I need to get to? No. I'm sticking with my one play today, I think, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. Here, this one will be quick too. Pelicans and the Trailblazers. Blazers eliminated. Pelicans tied with the Suns, as we mentioned earlier. Obviously, Suns have that tiebreaker. And then they're a game ahead of Sacramento for the 8 seed. So we'll see how that one goes there. I'm not laying 10 points on the run. So I know we kind of prestoed through the NBA card. It's the last week of the regular season. And I sure as hell, I don't think we're going over NBA next Monday for the last day of the regular season, because all the games mean nothing, or they're going to mean nothing. So keep that in mind. Big card done for the day. So that should be. We have obviously a lot of playoff stuff coming up with NHL and NBA. Mostly it's all seeding in the NBA. A lot of playoff stuff going on in the NHL, so that should be fun. Baseball off and running. For me, we'll quickly do a recap and all that stuff. If you guys are new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff for all sport. Check out all links in the description below. They're all right above my head. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, all those linked down below. Become a member of the YouTube channel, $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. That's where we post all of our plays that we put up on the picksandparleys.net website. So if you guys are interested in that, bada bing, bada boom. Recap for today, nothing in the NHL. Although should be a fun card to watch if you guys are hockey people. MLB today, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Lean towards Milwaukee, Yankee run line. I will be on the over in the Mets game. I will be on the Kansas City Royals. I will be on. I would look towards the Dodger run line. The over. Philly run line. The over in the Colorado game. The Angels and the under. San Fran under. Chicago money line. And then just the Bucks and then the over in the Pacer game. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back with another one tomorrow. Where's the outro? Here it is. Peace out, guys.